For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Hi, and thanks for joining me on the show today. If you've been following the tour, you know that last week we were in California. Today's show takes us back to Washington, but that's only for editing purposes. I wanted to share with you the story about Roman. He is one of the most adorable, lovable, articulate, dog-loving kids I've ever met in my whole life. You're gonna love him. Later in the show, you'll meet a man with a young family. I only chose one cancer survivorship story to tell, and I chose this story because when talking to him ahead of the tour, I really loved what he had to say about his fight for life, his reason for wanting to be here, and that is to make sure he was here to raise his children. In my own life experience, that didn't get to happen for my husband, but I think that there are a lot of people who are watching the show who can learn from someone who fought so hard to be here and is fulfilling his role as a father. I think it's a beautiful story. I also wanted to share that as of yesterday, I received the good news that I am a 22-year cancer survivor. I had all of my tests yesterday and last week, and I have a clean bill of health again. What better way to start the show than that? Thanks for watching. So I'm here with my friend Roman, my new friend, at the Noah Center, and he is going to show us around. He is the YouTube sensation who helps friendly dogs find friendly homes. Right?
Right. So I'm here to get dogs adopted. Isn't that right, Max?
My name is Lainey Kurtz. I'm the operations director at the Noah Center in Stanwood, Washington. Roman is the biggest hearted little boy that we have had the privilege to get to know. It is pretty obvious that he is all about the dogs and really at his age truly interested in helping them find that perfect placement.
So what would you say to someone who is interested in adopting this dog?
I think she's pretty sweet, alright. She needs a good home with people that could give her lots of lovings, because she's sweet and needs lots of lovings.
My interaction with Roman is that he has been part of Project Freedom Ride, which is one of our partner shelters. So they come and visit after they've brought us animals from Texas, and they like to do feature stories on some of the animals we've received. So he'll go into the rooms and interact with them, and if we haven't gotten any of their animals in that week, he will ask who is here that could use that extra special attention, and then he does the same thing for those.
Do you know how I found you, Roman? I saw your YouTube videos where you go into the shelters like you're doing now, and I bet you help a lot of dogs get adopted that way.
I help a ton.
Do you have any idea how many?
I have no idea.
I bet you lost count, huh?
I lost count from the first one.
From the first one.
Ever since the 10th dog I did, I lost count.
Wow.
They never know how to count higher than 10.
How high can you count now?
995 is once how high I counted up to.
Wow, that's really high. Could you imagine if you saved 995 dogs?
I think I have already.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
I have no idea how many.
She's like, hey kid, give me some treats.
And
She seems to be doing really well.
Yeah, she's very affectionate.
And she's so small, I just want to put her in my pocket.
She's too little, huh? I'm Jen. I'm the founder of Project Freedom Ride and Roman's mom. We are becoming a nonprofit. We bring dogs up from high kill areas in Texas and transfer them to facilities like NOAA, as well as into direct homes. We started in December 2016, and we've moved about 900 dogs since then. So, yeah, pretty crazy.
So what do you like about doing this project?
I like to call out the dog names to get the direct adopt dogs, which are the dogs that go straight to their homes, and the people don't even meet their dogs, they just do FaceTimes and other cool stuff.
We don't get to meet them until they're off the truck, huh?
I don't get to meet them until they're off the truck.
What's it like when they meet them?
They're like so happy, and some people adopt one Project Freedom Ride dog from like transports like a long time ago, and they get another dog from a Project Freedom Ride. So it's crazy. And I like to call out the dog names to the adopters. It's my favorite part to be in Project Freedom Ride.
It's very good. You're very good at this.
Has their role.
You're very good at this.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I would say Max is not a ball player. He doesn't really play much, but he likes to run.
He spotted him.
But I know he likes to run for one.
Just to chase.
Yeah, he likes to chase.
He wants those treats out of your pocket. He says, come on.
He likes treats too. Watch. I made him sit earlier, but I'm not.
He doesn't see you. There you go.
Sit, boy. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Hi, you guys are so cute. I want to visit with you at some point.
Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
We are Mike and Catherine Thompson. I was born and raised here in the Northwest. We met when we were 15 through church, same group of friends.
So I had a really big crush on Mike, really big. And so I dibbed him that none of my friends could date him.
Yep.
And then I waited my turn.
So what do you mean you waited your turn?
I waited until he had dated enough that he finally realized he would come back to me.
What it really came down to, we were really close in high school, like same group of friends. We were best friends. We never dated, obviously. But I went away to college my first year, and when I was away from her. She was back home. That's when I realized, man, I miss this girl. I want to be with her. And so when I came back from college, that's when we finally officially started dating. We've been married, gosh, almost 12 years. Now it is 12 years now.
It is 12 years. We found out we were expecting Kendall just 3 months after we were married. And
Which was not the plan.
No, I have PCOS. So I had been told for years that I would never conceive. And if I did conceive, it would take lots of fertility treatments and everything else. But 3 months later, we were expecting.
That's the Utah water for you.
We were on the 2 to 4 year plan.
We were on the wait till after college plan. I was working while going to school full time, and so the plan was finish college. We're newly married. Let's be dinks, right? Dual income, no kids for a while, but it's all for the better now.
We tried right away to have another baby, and it didn't work. The standard PCOS symptoms played a big role. It was hard because I felt like I was being ungrateful that I had been given Kendall, because I still wanted more, but at the same time, I knew that there was somebody else waiting to join us, and so
I think we both had that feeling at one point of just our family's not complete, like there's somebody else there coming.
And I felt a big urgency for some reason. So I had struggled. We were right at the 2.5 year mark, and we had been doing some treatments and the side effects were awful. And so we finally had decided that December was going to be our last month to try. And on December 31st, I took a pregnancy test and it was positive. And that was our Carson, who came 3 years later than I expected him to. But he came just in time for our next big trial.
Yeah, so Carson was born in September, and then I started getting sick that same year right after Thanksgiving. I remember I do a turkey bowl every year with all my friends from church, and I remember being there and just not feeling normal, like I was off, but I didn't know why. And I remember, I think I first started getting the night sweats, and to the point where I was soaked, and I'd never experienced anything like that. I thought, am I wetting myself? It was bad. Like, she felt soaked also.
He would soak the entire bed.
And I developed a cough, fever, thinking I got the flu or something, some sort of virus. I went to the doctor. They originally diagnosed it, I think, as mono, but I'd already had mono a few years earlier, so that didn't make sense.
Then strep throat.
Then strep throat. It was just, you got this, you got a virus, here's more antibiotics.
But they had never done a blood work or chest x-ray or anything?
Nothing, nothing like that. It progressively got worse to where I remember I was laying flat on the couch watching TV, no physical exertion, just laying down for an hour. My resting heartbeat was 160 beats a minute.
Wow.
That's through the roof, right? And Christmas Eve, I remember if I laid down flat, like on my bed, I could not breathe at all. Couldn't breathe. So I had to sleep upright in a chair that night. And she's, of course, like, we got to go to the ER. And I'm like, no, it's Christmas time. Deal with this later. Typical man, right? So Christmas morning, we wake up. My parents come over for breakfast every Christmas. We do that. We open up presents together. And then we sent Kendall, because she was 3.
No, he had gone upstairs to take a nap. He was so tired after opening presents, and he had gone upstairs and sat in the Lazy Boy recliner that we had in our room, and he went to recline and he stopped breathing.
So we went to the urgent care first, went in, and I remember the doctors were all joking. Nobody wants to be at urgent care on Christmas, right? So the doctors are kind of laughing about it. We're having a good time. They do an x-ray originally, and we're waiting, and I remember the look on the doctor's face when he came back in from the x-ray just kind of dropped, and his whole demeanor changed, and he said, hey, we found a mass in your chest. We don't know exactly what it is, but we're going to have to send you to the hospital to do more testing. And so we went to Southwest, was there for...
With our 3-month-old in tow.
With our 3-month-old. I think I was there a total, it's about 8 hours. They did the CAT scan and everything. And my dad came, because we'd been there at the hospital all day. It's Christmas. He wanted to, obviously check in. He walks in to the room right as the doctor says, Mike, you have lymphoma. And I did not know what lymphoma was. I thought maybe I had a really bad case of pneumonia. Like, what is lymphoma? And I could tell by the look on Catherine's eyes and my dad's eyes that this was not good. Catherine immediately started to tear up. I could see my dad just have that worried look, and the doctor said, you have cancer. And I'm 24 years old. We have a brand new baby, young family, and that can't be. I'm too young for this. And I knew right then I had two choices, and they all kind of went through my head of, one, I can be mad and blame God, why me, why now, why do I have to go through this, or, which I chose the second choice of, I need God more now than ever. I'm a fighter. I'm not going to die. There was never an ounce of doubt that cancer was going to take me. It was, okay, let's start treatment right now. I want this thing out of me. And the doctor even said, he goes, if I had to choose a cancer, like, cancer sucks regardless. Nobody wants cancer, but if I had to choose one, Hodgkin's lymphoma is the one I would choose. So that kind of helped with my attitude. But from there, it was just, all right, let's get to work. Get this thing out of me. I got a lot of life left to live. So let's start.
Having that brought to fruition, was there a difference for you between, hey, I'm going to beat this, and then all that it takes to beat it? The list is long.
Right.
That consult you have with the doctor about what you're going to have to go through.
Yep.
And so where did the resolve come from you then?
I remember going to her dad. We're strong believers. We have a lot of faith, close to God. And he laid his hands on me with two other brethren to pray for me. As soon as they said that prayer, it's like my lungs opened up. I could breathe again. And never once after that point did I have a struggle breathing again. And random people who I've never met before why is this happening? Random people would come up to me in a public place and ask if they could pray for me. And I don't pray in public. I'm not an attention seeker. I don't want that on me, but I was just like, I need all the help I can get. And these random people of faith would lay their hands on me in a coffee shop and pray. And just the love that I experienced from strangers, it was amazing. But yeah.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
There was a point going through the treatment where when they told me the side effects of all the drugs, they go over your chemo plan with you. They're showing you, you're likely to go, you're going to become sterile, you're going to lose your hair, you're going to be vomiting, you're going to lose weight, going down the list. None of that stuff scared me. Of course I was nervous to go through that. You don't know what to expect. It's, you've heard of horror stories of chemo, but I was just like, this is what I'm going to have to endure to get through this. It's like training for sports. You endure to win, right? You endure the training to come out, victorious in the game. But there came a time going through chemo where I remember,
it was when you had 3 treatments left.
Yeah, it was pretty close to the end. I remember, I don't cry often, you just saw me cry on camera. Very seldom, but it got to a point where I did not want to go back to treatment because I knew how my body felt afterwards. I knew I had to do it. It's the only way to beat this thing, but I didn't want to do it. And I sat on the couch and she, held me and comforted me, and because I knew the pain I was going to suffer and the effects on my body.
That's one thing people don't realize is that chemo is painful.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah. There's a movie called The Bucket List, right? Mm-hmm. If you've ever seen it, there's a point where Morgan Freeman is describing, the napalm inside your bones. It's dead on. It is, you are suffering. I know everybody is different to it, but for me it was hell, right?
And it's when you were talking about how it's like this one thing in life. Maybe you have a lot of things in life eventually, but it's the one thing in life. There's no way around it. You got to do exactly what they tell you to do, what you've committed to doing. I mean, you make your choice of treatment,
Right.
and then you comply.
Right.
And then you hope that by doing that, you're still here for a long time. So you go ahead.
Oh, I remember one day that we met with Dr. Bruns. It was the day before we started treatment, and we had gone into Dr. Bruns, and it was the first time Mike had actually asked, what happens if I just don't do this? What happens if I don't do chemo? And he said, I don't know what'll kill you first, if your tumor will close off your heart, or if your tumor and the cancer will just take over your body. But either way, you won't survive. And it was the first time that I had allowed myself to accept that we were facing death straight on. And I definitely know it was the first time that he realized that he could die from this, that it was something that could take his life. I remember after that appointment, Mike's whole demeanor on chemo had changed, that it was definitely, he became more aggressive towards the cancer, that he was going to beat it, he was going to fight, he wasn't going to let it happen to him.
I got mad at cancer at that point. It was like I'm a competitive person, and it was a competition. It was, I'm not going to be another number. I remember seeing that I went to Northwest Cancer Specialists, it's now Compass Oncology. I remember seeing that on the wall, I will not be another number, and that was my motto. I'm not going to die, cancer's not going to take me, I'm going to beat you.
And you've been well now for how long?
July 18th of this year will be 7 years, so I'm 6 years in remission now.
That's cured.
That's cured, yes.
I just wanted to talk to you and see if you'd expand upon what you could share with people who are watching, fathers, mothers, parents, who could learn from your determination to be here, because that was your number one reason for fighting so hard.
But a lot of my motivation was, I don't want to be replaced. Whether that is ego or concern of my kids, of just, I'm 24, I got a brand new baby, I've got another daughter. I don't want another man coming in and dictating how my kids are raised. What if he does a horrible job? What if he does an amazing job and makes me look bad?
It's like
right?
they never think about you.
But I want to be there, right?
But in talking with you about being a parent, some people, this don't wait idea isn't just, it's anything. It can be anything. And there are parents who are too tired to go to the activities of their kids after school, or they don't think there's time to volunteer in the classroom, or whatever the thing is that kid needs. Hopefully hearing your story will make people appreciative of what they've got and their ability to be here. And that's the number one thing, like you said, just being here. That's a gift. And what you do with that is entirely up to you as a parent. Like you said, whether it's two moms, two dads, that isn't what we're talking about. We're talking about being a parent in that household, or being a parent from a divorced household, doesn't matter. But that's what our kids need today. I think more than anything, that's what kids have needed for thousands of years.
Right.
Is that to know that they matter.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.